The story of the lost city of Atlantis is a big, fascinating mystery that has been making people scratch their heads for many, many years. It's like a giant puzzle that people from all over the world, both experts and everyday people, love to try and solve. This legendary city was first talked about by a super smart guy from a long time ago named Plato, who was from ancient Greece. He wrote that Atlantis was an amazing place, showing just what people can accomplish. But then, something really strange happened. It seemed like Atlantis just sunk under the sea in one day. Nobody knows if it was a real place, and if it was, everyone wonders where it could have been. Oh, by the way, to continue diving underwater, make sure you subscribe to the Mystery Behind History. Fast forward to recent times, and people are still super excited about finding Atlantis. In 2023, there was a new spark in this old mystery because of some cool discoveries and ideas. One of these happened right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. In the previous year, 2022, some explorers found weird holes almost 2 miles down in the water. These holes looked like someone or something made them on purpose, not like they were made by nature. A place where they found them shakes a lot because of Earth movements, which sounds a lot like the story of how Atlantis went down into the water. Because of this, some people started to think that maybe parts of Atlantis are lying down there, deep in the ocean. At the same time, another idea started floating around about a place near Spain and Gibraltar, areas that people a long time ago called the Pillars of Hercules. Over there, some people who love digging stuff up, known as archaeologists, found really old statues that are about 2,500 years old. These might have something to do with an old place called Tartessos, which was where Spain and Portugal are today. Tartessos was famous because the people there were really good with boats and had a fancy culture, a lot like what Plato said about Atlantis. So, some people started guessing that when Plato talked about Atlantis, he might have actually been talking in a roundabout way about this Tartessos place. Now, there's also talk about a city in Morocco called Agadir, which is close to the old gates of Hercules. This city is known for having a lot of earthquakes, and its name sounds like gates, which makes people think of the Atlantis stories. Because of these cool connections and where it's located on the map, more and more people are starting to say, hey, maybe Agadir is where Atlantis was hiding all along. The search doesn't stop there. It also goes all the way to a Greek island named Santorini. There, some amazing old things have been dug up in an area called Akrotiri, showing that people once had a bustling city there. These old things, especially those found in 2020, made people think again that maybe Santorini was Atlantis because the stuff they found there and the stories Plato told matched up. What's super interesting is that in 2022, there were rumors about pictures taken from space that showed the exact spot of Atlantis. But we don't know much about that because there isn't a lot of information available. So everyone's on the edge of their seats, waiting to learn more. Adding to the excitement, a group of researchers from the US came up with a cool new guess. They think Atlantis might be in a really muddy place in the south of Spain. They say this because the area matches some of the things Plato wrote about where Atlantis was and what it looked like. If we go way back to when people first heard about Atlantis from Plato, he wrote about it like it was the most awesome place ever. It had tons of money, super smart people, and everything was just perfect. He said it was around 9,000 years before he was alive, and then, poof, it was gone. That's why the mystery of Atlantis keeps people all over the world guessing and exploring. Today, everyone is more interested in Atlantis than ever before. Each new idea or thing that's found makes people pay even more attention to this old mystery, showing how much we all want to learn and solve mysteries. There are so many guesses about where Atlantis could be, from way down under the sea to different places on land all over the world. This shows how much people everywhere are pulled in by this ancient puzzle. The mystery of the lost city of Atlantis keeps everyone excited, mixing history, adventure, and what's popular on TV and in books. People are super interested because this city first popped up in stories told by the old Greek thinker Plato. He made everyone wonder about where it could be, how awesome it was, and why it suddenly went poof and disappeared. Lately, people are talking about it more because of new finds, shows on TV, and big talks by smart people all over the world. They all want to solve this super old puzzle. Some people think that the cool Atlantis isn't just a made-up story, but could be a real place on an island we now call Santorini in Greece. A recent show on the Discovery Channel brought this idea back into the spotlight, suggesting that parts of Atlantis might be hidden under the ground, waiting in the Mediterranean Sea. This island had big volcano eruptions back in the day, and there were smart people living there way back when, which makes people believe this idea even more. A big boom that happened on Santorini a long time ago might be the same disaster Plato talked about, making the story a bit real. At the same time, there's this story about Heraclion, a super old city from Egypt time, which now is under the sea. This shows how whole cities can end up underwater, just like what they say happened to Atlantis. Heraclion sank into the sea about 1,000 years ago, and finding it showed us big places can be hidden by water and time. This made people think, hey, if we found Heraclion underwater not too long ago, maybe we can find Atlantis too. To keep looking for clues, the Discovery Channel started a show called Hunting Atlantis. In the show, experts travel all over the world to look at cities under the sea, old things they dig up, and places where the earth cracked or exploded. They're super focused on putting together the Atlantis story Plato wrote down, trying to show people what this lost city might have been like. From deep in the ocean to far-off places where they dig for old stuff, the show is all about how much we love exploring and learning new things. People have also been looking near an island called Thera in the sea near Greece, where they found signs of an old city from 400 BC that got hit by a big earthquake and volcano. This sounds a lot like what Plato said happened to Atlantis. And in 2018, a group in Spain found something in a park that made them think of the lost city. These circles on the ground got everyone chatting again about maybe finding Atlantis in southern Europe. Guesses about where Atlantis could be are all over the place. Some people think it's in the sea near Greece, others think it's near Spain, and some even think it's way under the ice at the bottom of the world. Experts in history say almost every place on the planet has been guessed at least once. This worldwide guessing game shows just how much everyone is drawn to the story of Atlantis, no matter where they are from. During all these talks, a brand new idea came up about when Atlantis might have been destroyed. This idea says it happened way back at the start of the 5th millennium BC, which is even earlier than people thought before. This new timing idea got everyone arguing and thinking all over again about what Plato wrote and what other signs we've found that might be related. This never-ending search, with all its ideas and talks about Atlantis, shows how much people can get enough of things they don't understand. Every new find, idea, and trip to look for clues adds another part to the big, tangled story we've made around this mythical city. Whether Atlantis is really under the sea or just a story, it stands as a big mystery that keeps adventurers and smart people coming back for more, pushing us to keep asking questions about our past. The answers we find could change how we see the story of humans and our spot in it. Did you enjoy this deep dive into the enduring mystery of Atlantis? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.